Hello everybody, welcome back to C8 Corvettes. It's your Corvette buddy Lyle, here to talk to you about how cold it is in Sarasota today. We woke up to 38 degrees, which I know to those of you up north, that's like, oh, that's like shorts weather. Down here, we are all just bundled up. But I did want to make a video today to talk about some really exciting news in the Corvette world, specifically the C8 world, and the possibility of a new 6-speed manual transmission. So as you may or may not have heard, at the SEMA show this year, Tremec, the transmission company, unveiled a new 6-speed manual transaxle, which ironically shares the same dimensions, packaging envelope, and mounting points as the C8 Corvette's existing dual clutch unit. It literally physically fits in the same space and bolts up. They've actually done, Tremec has actually bolted it into a C8 to confirm that it fits the space, clearance, and mounting points. Great. Some of the specifics of this unit: it's got 6 forward gears and 1 reverse gear, the aluminum case for strength and weight balance. It's got a mechanical limited slip differential rather than an electronically controlled one like in the DCT. Shift actuation via side-mounted cable on the transaxle, and it actually has its own dedicated oil pump internally for oil circulation. That said, this is most likely done for racing applications. A lot of guys who really push their C8s on the track regularly have found that the DCT, when it is pushed very hard for long periods of time, as you would on a track, can be quite fragile. And a lot of these cars have had to be basically forklifted back into their trailers because the wheels were locked up. This is going to be something, a conversion that would be done for race cars at this point. Doesn't mean it won't find its way into a street conversion, but at this point I think it is aimed more toward the racers. Importantly, this is not yet a factory option for the C8 Corvette from GM. The unit is advertised more as an aftermarket custom build solution. If you want Lyle's 2 cents on this, my idea, my opinion of what I see happening with this transmission going forward is large, well-known, well-funded professional shops like Callaway or Lingenfelter or somebody like that is going to end up offering this as a conversion where you send them your car, they have all the parts, they've sorted all the electronics, you get your car back with a working manual transmission and everything's happy and it comes with a warranty. That is the way I see this happening, short of GM adopting it and offering it as an option on future versions of the Corvette. It isn't going to be something that you buy yourself and you do. This is going to have to be a fully integrated conversion between the electronic, the mechanical, the hydraulic, I assume. All of those things are going to have to work together, and it's going to require somebody who really knows what they're doing and a large conglomerate to come together to make that work. So that's just my 2 cents. Software and hardware integration remains a major hurdle. Calibrating gear shift sensors, establishing clutch pedal linkages. Since the C8, had a paddle shift only, you would actually have to have not only a clutch pedal with hydraulics involved and a physical shifter that would fit in the existing space in the center console of a C8. So it's not a matter of just switching those things out. There's a lot more to it. There's going to be trade-offs. Going from an 8-speed DCT to a 6-speed manual means fewer ratios. Performance and gear spacing might trade off some shift speed and or absolute lap times depending on how you apply it. The vehicle's electronics and drivetrain management system are built around the DCT architecture. Again, our bigger problem, I think, other than the physical transformation with adding a shifter and a clutch pedal and all that stuff, is going to be getting the computers to be happy with this setup. And I'm sure someone's going to figure it out, but they're going to be a lot smarter than this guy when they do. Cost is going to be high. Tremec hasn't published a final MSRP yet, but given the niche, expect this to be a very premium transmission. Durability testing and full market release are still forthcoming. Some sources say initial availability is targeted around 2027 for full readiness. Okay. Now, since this now exists, and GM stated publicly that one of the reasons they didn't offer a manual in the C8 was because they didn't want to invest a bunch of money into a dedicated unit that wouldn't have a good financial return, so going full DCT made a lot more sense. Okay, well now Tremec has developed this. It now exists. Does that mean that that is something that GM may pick up in the future? Does that mean it's something that it may decide to integrate into later versions of the C8 or even the C9? Entirely possible. I think the key is going to be them doing their demographics research to see, with the pool of buyers now that they have established since 2020 with the C8, are those buyers interested enough in having a manual option that they would pay a premium to do so? Don't know, but GM has all of that information, and they also have all the emails and the phone numbers of the people who bought those cars new, and they can say, hey, this is GM, what do you think about this? Which they probably will do in focus groups over the coming year or 2 years. There is a manual on the horizon for the C8. It may not ever be in GM production, but it does now at least officially exist. Now, my question to you, and this is the entire reason I wanted to make this video. If you are one of the people who are absolutely, I will never buy a C8 because it doesn't have a manual transmission. If this became an option, A, would that make you reconsider the C8 or the C9? And B, what premium do you think should be attached to this? Because it is a major reworking of not only the physical layout of the shifting drivetrain stuff, it is also a major reworking of some electronics. Is that something you feel you would pay a premium for? And would it make you then consider that over other cars in that price range? Let me know in the comments below. I'm interested to hear your feedback on this. In the meantime, I'm going to go sit by my space heater and get back on my computer so I can feel my fingers again. Y'all have a wonderful day. We'll talk to you soon.